Hello everybody and welcome to Fallout Equestria Pink Eyes. It's been a few days since I've read the last part of this. Little recap here from what I remember. Pink Eyes here, little Puppysmiles, is going officially after Dead Ends, is finally heading towards the coastline where her mother supposedly is. So, hopefully that works out well in their favor. But, yeah, that's all I currently remember. They have a goal now. Chapter 16, Reunions. We're getting the band back together. Sup, ponies, I can't believe he really did that. He took that piece of crap he calls a rifle and just flew away, that featherhead, while I was sleeping. Hey, LP, if you're listening to this, shove that rifle up your rear. The audio paused for a moment. The feminine voice that had been talking didn't seem sad or just angry. Alright, ponies, show must go on. DJ good stuff here. I love that. Friggin' got tied up by a power cord. And you're listening to Radio 52, or at least until I collapse, because a certain pony left me here all alone with a show that is never supposed to stop. Okay, new rules. I'll be airing during daytime, and you'll get only music during night, because I'm not immortal and I need to sleep, and if anybody wants to drop by and do some talking while I'm asleep, just knock at the door, you know where we are. The sound of paper shuffling filled another pause. Alright, remember that I can operate that damn shortwave radio too, so don't stop sending news, especially regarding the situation in Ironworks. And speaking of news, the memorial has been deserted and ponies are moving north towards Broccoli. All the caravans still moving between Broccoli and Emerald Shore should head north and try to reach Rust Manor. I repeat, head north towards Rust Manor. Don't stop at Broccoli because it's too near the war zone. Fuck, I hate giving the news. If anything else comes in, I'll let you know. Otherwise, you'll get music all day long. Remember, music means no news, and no news is actually good news. Have some angry music because I'm angry, and give Lonesome a buck in the head if you see him. She really does not like him. Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget, my son, to include every poem, tuck you in, warm within, keep you free from sin, till the sandmare she comes. Okay, that was a thing. The Memorial Northern Picnic Area. In the distance ahead, Puppysmiles stood another little town, little more than a group of shacks built around a very large statue that depicted a group of ponies hoisting the equestrian banner. The marble monument was remarkable, well conserved. Its enormous size made it possible to see even from several kilometers away. On her way south, the filly met several groups of ponies with carts loaded with everything. She tried to socialize with them, but they simply kept moving, mostly ignoring Puppy except for a couple of foals who waved back from a cart. Entire families were fleeing, leaving their homes, trying to reach safety behind the walls of a larger and better guarded settlements. Ah, classic. The filly was now staring at the monument with a puzzled expression. Mr. Voice, are we near to Dad's place? Analyzing. Actual position is Equestria. Fallen Soldier Memorial, Northern Picnic Area. Location of your male parent is currently unknown. Puppy tilted her head, staring the surroundings. Yes, I remember this place. That big road sign with Pinkie Pie face and... The foal left the road, galloping over a low hill and finding herself in the middle of a group of tables and rusty abandoned barbecues. This is Dad's place. Dad is near. Let's go. The filly and yellow galloped further away from the road, heading for a group of hills to the west. The low hills were still far from here, approximately 4 or 5 kilometers away from the memorial, but even from this distance it was possible to see that they were dotted with white stones, each spaced evenly apart. As she ran toward the distant hills, Puppy passed by a dead tree. Once upon a time it must have been a proud oak, but all that was left now was the blackened skeleton, its trunk scorched and its branches bare. I want more apple pie. The grass was green and birds were singing among the leaves. The sky was blue and everything was so nice. Don't eat too much, Puppy. We still need to go to Dad's place, remember? If you eat too much, you'll get sleepy, and you don't want to be sleepy when you go visiting Dad, right? But Mom, he's never there. We went a lot of times, and he was always away. Will he be there this time? I don't know, Puppy, but you can leave him flowers, so he will find them and know that you love him. Okie dokie. A couple of colts chased each other, disappearing behind a hill. There were ponies playing and ponies having lunch. Every pony was having a good time. I got a better thing this time. Look. Oh, but Puppy, that's a toy of yours. Are you sure you want to leave it here? Yes. So when Dad will be back, he will play with it and he won't feel lonely. Besides, he will return it to me when he comes back home again. The distant sound of laughter filled the silence between mother and daughter. Mom, why are you crying? Uh-oh. The big man went to war and... oh my god, they're all struggling to cope with it. She just doesn't tell him. Puppy doesn't know. Oh god, I bet he died in action. Okay, oh yeah. Philly stopped for a moment, looking at the big tree and trotting around it. She could clearly remember having a picnic in this place not earlier than in spring. When had everything gone? Oh well, she knew that trees sometimes lose their leaves because Mom had told her so, and since there wasn't even grass on the ground, it was just fitting. The filly trotted away towards the cemetery. Enter Equestria 52 War Cemetery. The bombs were all similar, consisting of small marble stones on which were engraved a name, a date, a cutie mark, and a few short words. Some stones were white and others were black, but when Puppy asked to her mom why they were different, she simply replied that the ponies napping there were more important than the others. Puppy didn't like that reply, since Dad was a very important pony, but he only had a white stone, so she decided to bring him some more flowers just to show him that he was super sure he was the best dad ever. Warning, receiving distress radio signal. Distance from the source, 200 meters. Signal identified. Device 009. Warning, receiving new distress signal. Distance from the source, 250 meters. Signal identified. Device 020. Sure, that's what we're calling it. 020, not 020. 020, whatever. Puppy tilted her head, confused. What? New radio music? I hope it's not like the last time when there was just a stupid pony saying endlessly, help me, we're doomed, and all those silliness. Negative. These are the Ministry of Peace distress signals from other marked blank suits. Receiving a third signal. They're ghouls. On a distance of 230 meters. Signal identifies. Device 013. The filly sighed. Look, if it's not music, I don't care. Now let's go find Dad. Maybe he's back and we will go find Mom together. With these words, the foal headed towards a low hill with a statue of an alicorn on top. The hill was surrounded by a low metallic fence with several marble arches that led inside that area of the cemetery. A large main battle tank stood in front of the arch. Puppy was going through a brass plaque in front of the war machine. Explained that this part of the graveyard were buried and the fallen soldiers. Oh my god. From the 3rd Armored Company's steel flanks, there are also some commemorative words and brief statements that explained how tanks nowadays weren't widely used on the front because of the new technology breakthroughs and that the decommissioned machine had been left here to safeguard its sleeping brothers. The filly in yellow had been here more than once, so she already knew where to go and headed toward a specific grave. Seeing that the place was deserted, Puppy sighed and sat in front of the white stone. The cutie mark of a couple of keys was engraved on the marble surface, together with the writing. Captain Better Days, tender husband and caring father, beloved by his wife Rainy and his daughter. Oh god. Oh god, Better Days? Are you kidding me? His name is Better Days? Better Days and Rainy Days. Oh god. Obviously. Wow. Oops. Nobody tell him. David was mostly unreadable, but didn't matter very much to Puppy since she was mostly interested in the grave itself. On the small mound sat an empty vase and a couple of plastic figures. The vase once contained flowers, but now was just filled with murky water and covered in mold. But the plastic figures still stood on the grave. Looking back at Puppy, they never fell by the wind at all. That's kind of nuts. There were 2 molded plastic ponies like those that were put into cereal boxes. The first figure was a miniature Pinkie Pie, while the other was of a Rainbow Days. Puppy sighed. He didn't take them. Why he never takes them? Oh god, why he never takes what I leave here? I was sure that he loved Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. Touching the plastic blue Pegasus with the hoof, the filly continued, Stupid Dad. If he was a little more at home, Mommy could help. Oh well, Mom explained plenty of times that it was okay if he didn't come home, and that she wasn't mad at him. Oh my god, did she? So, whenever they meant visit dad, they really meant a trip to the old cemetery. And I bet freaking Rainy Days just kind of prayed that Puppy would take a hint at one of them eventually, that he's in the ground. That is horrible. The filly wasn't completely convinced, but something in her mother's eyes told her that she had just to accept the explanation. From the day Mom got angry because Puppy didn't want to come home until Dad came back with them too, the foal decided that she didn't want to see her mother cry and scream like that, so she decided to play along and leave something in this place every time she came back here. Hoping that one day Dad would realize that she and Mom still loved him and maybe he would finally come back, Puppy cleared her voice and stated, everything. Warning, the inventory management spell is not devised to operate more than one object at a time. Opening fast inventory scroll by alphabetical order. State next. When you have finished examining an object and need to move on, state stop or exit when you want to close this application and restore usual inventory management program. An ashtray flew in front of Puppy. Next! Another ashtray appeared. Next! Yup, ashtray. Next! Again, an ashtray. Next! Did I say that Puppy usually scooped up every single shiny object she found on her way? This was going to take a while. I know, this is like some serious Elder Scrolls energy when you are over encumbered. Everything just weighs so dang much in the medieval era. Fantasy. 7 a.m. Next, the 20th fork was stowed back into Puppy's bags and the sorry, dripping remains of Fuzzy Ball floated in front of the full. Oh, no, wait, Fuzzy! Grabbing the dead Parador cup, a disgusting green goo oozed from the cracks of its carapace. The dead creature had lost all of its legs and only a single wing left, while the eyes at some point started to decompose and were now just another grossly rotting detail on that thing. You don't seem very healthy today, Fuzz. What happened? Puppy studied the dead creature for a moment, trying and failing to determine what was wrong with it. A missed voice. Is Fuzzy Ball ill? Negative. Fuzzy Ball is deceased and in an advanced state of decay. Puppysmiles frowned. She had learned from experience that difficult words usually weren't good news. This means she is very tired? Negative. This means she is falling apart, losing pieces, disintegrating. What? The Philly Doctor had alarmed. Losing pieces? But Fuzz needs her pieces to be okay. She gave a second look at the dead critter. Besides, it seems to me that she doesn't lack any pieces. Advice. Check twice. The creature has lost 3 wings and all its legs. Moreover, its carapace is rotting and has broken in several places due to the poor condition in which it is transported. Transported? You mean that Fuzzy is getting worse because I am taking her along with me? But that's terrible. There was a chance that even an automated voice with no real intelligence could be able to exploit. Affirmative. The corpse is decomposing faster, mostly because of you insisting on taking it along. Abandoning the corpse immediately is highly recommended. Puppy hesitated. Leaving Fuzzy here? But she will be alone. Little voice crack. There's nothing here. There's only... The foal stopped talking, looking straight at her father's grave. Maybe Dad could take care of her. The foal didn't seem enthusiastic about that idea. Still, it seemed so obvious. Elaborating. Leaving a deceased pet in the custody of a deceased parent is... Error. Cannot compute. Please reformulate. Reformulate? What are you saying again? You silly voice. I'm trying to be serious here. I can't do it. It messes with my, head trying to read stuff like this. Re-elaborating. It is impossible to identify a logical pattern. An external counselor strongly advised. Puppy snapped, started to lose her legendary patience. Stop talking nonsense. Call me somebody more competent, or we'll end up arguing again. Philly put her hooves on her helmet as she was rubbing her head. Really, living with you can be a pain sometimes. Watcher's metallic voice interrupted the full machine quarrel. Puppy, what are you doing in this place? It's dangerous. Take this. Turning toward the voice, the Philly yelled, found a sprite bot floating to her left, but this time she couldn't smile at him. Oh, it's you, questioner. Watcher. Whatever. This isn't a good moment. Could you please come back some other time? The voice hesitated before replying, "Sure, but I wanted to warn you, this place is not good for you. It's filled with, bad things that you must not see. Please, before I go, promise me that you will get away from here immediately." Puppy snore in frustration. "I can't. I need help with Fuzzy Ball, but Mr. Voice is not helping at all." With these words, she showed her dead Peridor to the sprite ball. "Go, but that thing is rotting." "No, please. What is that?" "Don't tell me." "Puppy, throw that thing away." "What? But Fuzzy Ball is the very best pet friend. I love her and she loves me, and we are having a lot of adventures together. I don't want to abandon her." The foal hesitated, looking away. But, pressed Watcher, since Puppy didn't seem eager to end the sentence and still hugged the corpse. "But she is ill, and Mr. Voice says that she must rest. I could leave her with my dad, but it seems wrong. I didn't even ask him if I could keep her, and..." "Your dad? You know where your dad is, and you are still trotting alone through the wasteland?" The robot's voice was growing with indignation. What kind of a father could ever leave his... Watcher stopped abruptly, finally noticing the name on the grave that Puppy was sitting in front of. "Oh, Buck, this keeps getting better. Oh my god, the jokes write themselves today, don't they?" The foal went on. "I know that I should have asked before, taking a pet with me, but, the filly sobbed. "But I only wanted a friend to stay with me all the time, not a weird voice that always tells me what to do, or stupid chicken that comes and goes. Fuzzy never leaves me alone and keeps me company. We were having a lot of fun together, and I protected her from the pet eaters, and she never goes away, and..." The filly paused, looking at the sprite bot. "And now she is ill and she loses pieces. Mr. Voice says that she has less wings than before. I'm not good with numbers, but it seems that he's right. I don't want to leave her, but I don't want her to be ill because of me. I don't know what to do." "Ah, and what did this Mr. Voice say?" Puppy snorted. "Nothing. He is talking nonsense since I started asking him. Then I had this idea of letting Fuzzy stay here with Dad to see if she gets better, but I don't know if Dad will like her or if he will be angry, and well, I'm not sure Dad will come here because he is never here when I come in, even if Mom says he loves me. I can't figure why he always avoids me." The foal waved her hooves around as she couldn't stand still while she was expressing her concern. "So maybe he will hate Fuzzy Ball, and then she will be sad. But I can't take her with me because she's losing pieces, and losing pieces is bad." Watcher hesitated, trying hard to disentangle the knot of feelings and words that Puppy was bombarding him with. "Well, what if I take Fuzzy with me? Just put her into the sprite bot's cargo bay. I'll take care of the rest out there." "Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that's freaking gross. Bro, leave him with the father, for all I care. God, dude." Puppy tilted her head. "You will make Fuzz feel better? Really? Sure, she can't get any worse anyway. I'll see what I can do." This is ridiculous. There's no freaking way you're gonna take a rotting hunk of goo with probably melting rotting brain matter and make it better. There's no freaking way. Oh my god, are they gonna turn him into a sprite bot? Oh, that would be so insane. Oh, okay. I'll see what I can do, but now please get away from this place. It's not good for you. With these words, a hatch opened on the sprite bot side, revealing space large enough to house the dead critter. Philly looked at the metallic stash that had Fuzzy Ball inside. Hugging her pet one last time, she whispered her goodbye. "Don't worry, Questioner is a pretty pony. When you'll get better, we will play again together." Kissing Fuzz goodbye through the helmet's glass, Puppy found the dead creature inside the sprite bot. The hatch closing almost immediately. "Don't worry about her, little one. She is going to a better place. Now let's move away from here. It makes me sad, okay?" Philly nodded, looking at her father's grave. Lily. A plastic flower floated in front of her, and she put it on the ground before the marble stone. "Sorry, Dad, I have to go. But next time I'll stay a little more, okie dokie? I'll come here with Mom." Turning away from the grave, Puppy smiled at the sprite bot. "Alright, I'm done." There was a pause before Watcher spoke again. "You are a good filly, Puppy. The foal and the robot moved off along the road that headed away from the cemetery towards the memorial. The ponies and the large statues seemed to salute the fallen from across the distance like an eternal link from those who had died fighting and those who were left trying to win a war that in the end killed every pony. The memorial was completely empty while fleeing from the town. The inhabitants had taken with them everything that wasn't nailed down, and even a few nails that had come loose. By the time 2 ponies and a small sealed crate were flown in by the way of a griffin, there was only dust and rust left to meet them. Alright, we're here. Mr. White. Oh, Mr. White. Jumped down from that, oh god, English. Jumped down from the griffin that was transporting him. Okay. That stumped me. Transporting him and stretched his legs. This was a long trip. The White Apple's leader tipped his black hat. You lot can go back to Sun City. The first mercenary griffin nodded to the unicorn. Okay, boss, but are you sure you want us to leave? The stallion snickered, looking at the other pony as he disembarked clumsily. Absolutely. This is family business. We just needed to get here fast. Now your work is done. The griffin's expression was still uncertain. Oh, don't worry about your pay. If I don't come back, my son will take care of the company. The winged lion shrugged and waved at the others. Okay, you heard the boss. Let's get out of here, lazy feathers. All 3 creatures took off the ground and headed north. While Mr. White watched the griffins flying away, Sagebrush dragged a heavy crate inside a small shack made of plastic sheets and large road signs, complaining all the way, "We can't take all this stuff with us, Uncle White. It's too heavy." Oh my god, they're just making the children be pack mules. That's absolutely hilarious. Don't worry, Sage. I'm planning to make camp here, and then move fast, scouting the area. She can't be very far. I still can't see why you decided to run all the way out there with just me for company when we could simply call the guys. First of all, we had to get here fast, and we can't airlift all those ponies and equipment in time. Moreover, Rust Manor is paying good caps for our mercenaries. I don't see why we should lose earnings. Mr. White tapped his chin, trying to find something easy to add. Besides, we aren't going to face the wild herd. We would just... Oh my god, we will just get the foal and head back. Easy peasy. Sagebrush sighed. Didn't any pony ever tell you that you are weird? I know she saved our rumps, but you already gave her reward for that. I think this foal retrieving mission is suicide. The stallion hesitated for a moment, his expression becoming thoughtful. Or you know something I don't. The White Hooves leader enveloped a pair of binoculars with his telekinesis and scouted the surrounding hilltops. Well, let's just say that I asked some questions here and there, and it seems that wherever that foal goes, things change for the better. This ghost must have some sort of lucky star watching over her, and I want to be there when the filly strikes again. There's a lot to gain from this story. Sagebrush waved a hoof dubiously. And you say this because? Because I have a good feeling about it. The sniper face hoofed. Great, so we all following a ghost because you have a doozy. Why am I coming with you? Mr. White replied merrily, well, because I'm your dear uncle, and you owe me so many caps that you can't say no anyway. I hate my life, groaned Sagebrush. The White Unicorn waved a hoof, asking for silence. Shut up! Somebody's coming for the hills. Get the rifle. Oh my god, it's like, it's a little hunting trip. From the improvised sniping position, the 2 ponies observed the solitary figure trotting in town. Oh man, it was covered in dusty mantle and carried a long carbine on its back. The traveler's face was hidden under a hood, but from its neck hung a necklace of feathers and polished metal objects. Sagebrush lowered his rifle, sighing in relief. Meh, it's just farseer. Weird. What's a shaman doing this far from the desert? Mr. White trotted out from the shack, leaving his rifle behind. We'll find that out soon. The unicorn galloped toward the newcomer and called out to him or her. Hey you, this place is empty. The road heading south is dangerous. You should turn your tail south and head north. The hooded pony stood for a moment, looking directly at Mr. White before taking off her hood, revealing the face of an old unicorn mare. Oh, you're already here. Very well. Now we have to wait for the others. Are they just going to kidnap the child? Is that what I'm understanding? 7:30. So, Puppy, you never told me about the blue streak in your mane. How did you get it? The sprite bot floated alongside Puppy as they slowly made their way from the cemetery and towards the memorial. The graveyard gates were just a few hundred meters behind them. It was in Sun City when Blue Voice told me all those meany things. I don't remember very well, but at some point I went to sleep, and when I woke up, my mane was all fancy. I see. You went to sleep and woke up with your mane changed. And what did Mr. Blue tell you? Puppy sighed. I already told you that. He said I was a robot and he wanted to make a fool out of me. But I showed him that I was smarter. But that's an old story. Since now, we are friends. Beg your pardon, you are friends now? Didn't you kill him with a magpul shell? Puppy giggled. Of course not, you silly questioner. He is not a bully bot. He's just as stupid as a colt. But when we met again, and Creepy Voice bullied him, he said he was sorry. So even if he pretends to be grumpy, I know we're friends. Oh my god. That's gonna cause some questions. Creepy who now? The tiny shadow of concern started dancing in Watch's voice. Puppy tapped at her helmet. You know, Creepy Voice, the one who lives in my head, talks weird and does a lot of cool stuff, but is a jerk. After a long pause, the sprite replied, you mean Mr. Voice, right? Nope, Mr. Voice is a bit boring and talks nonsense. Creepy Voice is creepy but cool. She does stuff like opening doors and spanking bully bots. From the robot speaker came a gasping sound. Now I get it. It's an imaginary friend. Yeah, I remember something like that. Want some advice? Don't try blaming your friends for things you did. In the end, it turns against you. Puppy tilted her head a little confused. She didn't seem very imaginary. Okie dokie. Good Philly. You always make me boom. Watch it disappear in a place of fire right in front of Puppy's eyes. It was gonna happen. It was bound. No, the pet. The bot. The freaking Parador. The fool stepped back for a moment, trying to understand what was going on. Then she noticed a large squat metallic figure rolling over the top of a nearby hill. Suddenly she knew the answer. Bully bots. Mr. White sat at a table inside the shack while Sagebrush finished cooking the oatmeal. Alright, Long Ears, so when are these other ponies supposed to arrive? The mayor shrugged, continuing to look outside the window. We should move by tomorrow evening. Many are coming. So much blood. Brush turned towards the farseer. Hey, old hag, we aren't going to fight. We're just here to get that foal and go back to downtown. I don't care about your crazy visions. White waved a hoof at his nephew in an attempt to make him be quiet. You do the cooking, I do the talking. I think we already agreed on that. Turning back towards the mayor, he went on. So, what did you see? Longears closed his eyes. In my dreams, I've seen flames from the south, engulfing all of their path. In the blaze, a pink shade kept struggling. The flames danced around her as they seemed to die for a moment as she passed them. The mayor paused for a moment before continuing. As the fire continued to sweep north, the shade reached the end of the road and turned into darkness. Mr. White frowned. Darkness? What do you mean by that? A black wave that ran behind the fire, devouring it but not before it destroyed everything. The mayor sighed. And when the darkness devoured the fire, nothing was left. The whole road was just an empty, abandoned place. Well, that's boosting my motivation for sure, snapped Sagebrush. White, I say we go back to downtown and leave this fucking place. The White Unicorn sighed, shaking his head and ignoring his nephew. So why we are here? So why are we here? Long Ears looked away from the window to stop the fire before it destroys everything, and then to reach the end of the road before the pink shadow does. Pink shadow, you say? Why does this make me think you're referring to Lonesome Pony's ghost? The unicorn was still talking when a distant explosion got his attention. Artillery. Looking outside the window, Mr. White couldn't see any explosion, but it seemed to be quite distant, maybe 7 or 8 kilometers southeast. The wind didn't help. There's something going on. The White Apple's leader trotted outside, listening out for any more noises, but it was hard to tell if the sound he had heard was actually a distant gunfight or simply his imagination working too hard. Well, I guess that whatever it was, now, it's gone. Let's get ins. A solitary figure was coming from the north wearing a weathered duster and a leather hat. The unicorn whistled. Hey you, this place is deserted. Go back to Broccoli. Again, the stallion's voice hesitated when he recognized the newcomer. Oh, the old mummy. Molten gold! Frickin' knew it. The mummy. Molten gold. Quickened his pace and smiled as he approached Mr. White. Look who's here, White. Of all the ponies I expected to meet, you are the last one. What are you doing in this outpost? Checking to see if there's something worth taking? Unicorn frowned. Oh, I never steal your job, old mummy. No, we are checking on the situation with the wild herd. He paused for a moment, trying to read the ghoul's expression, but it wasn't an easy feat. So, what are you doing this near to the war zone? Some treasure hunting? The old grave robber snickered. Something like that. I know he's a ghoul, but I'm not doing the voice right now. Let's say that I sent a packet south without realizing how dangerous it was. Now I'm trying to put a patch on that mistake. This is something new, you being sorry for something. What happened? Are you getting old? To Mr. White's surprise, instead of replying immediately, Molten Gold turned his eyes away, looking south. Well, yes, but I don't want a kid to die because of me being the usual me. I have a foal to save. Slowly, Mr. White's expression of surprise changed into an amused smile, until he patted the ghoul on the shoulder. Welcome to the club. Come in. We have oatmeal and a hot mare inside. Oh boy. The words I read. Puppy galloped toward the big robot. Oh, wait, what? Oh, the big robot, never mind. With the rocket Destiny floating at her side. Stop breaking my friends, you stupid bully bots. On the other side of Puppy's reckless charge stood an old, rusted but functional battle tank with tracks, turret, and everything else. A pony with a spiked mane was poking out of the turret hatch, taking its time as he stared at the solitary foal right towards them. Screw the boss and his orders. Why should we hide in the south when we have a tank? With this little baby, we are unstoppable. Hey, Gray Matter, the yellow thing is running this way. How about some shooting practice on a moving target? With a laugh, the pony retreated inside the tank and closed the hatch. A few seconds later, the turret rotated and aimed at the approaching field. I mean, if you got a tank, you gotta use it. You gotta use the tank. Inside the tank, the pony with his spiked mane was snickering like mad. Come here, my little pony. No, wait. The mare with her mane completely cut off put a hoof on the gunner's flank. Let's try a different weapon. I want to see this one. Shut up, because the stallion began scolding the bear, but his last moment he noticed a big red button she was pointing at. Oh yes, I like it. Let's rocket it to the moon. You two idiots, stop wasting time. Let's talking more shooting, snapped the driver and Earth Pony Stallion. They're just a ragtag group of just a couple people who just found a tag. They don't even like each other. They don't even understand the fundamentals of teamwork. They're like, ooh, button go boom. They're just like, they're just raiders. They're just stupid raiders. Your cliche raiders. The gunner snickered. Gee, you're such a whiner, Gray. Here, look at this. In the meantime, Puppy got a little more than halfway toward her target. Now that the big metal robot was near, she could see it had a large, bulky body with a round head and a long nose. Oh, it was one of those carts full of teapots. Wait, they weren't bully bots. They were carts. The filly stopped a moment, sitting down and pondering on the nature of that thing. Okie dokie, what did she know? Usually there were ponies on the carts, but she couldn't see anyone on that one. Moreover, it broke. Mr. Questioner's robot, and this was a typical bullybot thing, so the odds were that if it was a bullybot and not a cart. But to be perfectly sure, she decided to go and ask. In the moment from the top of the tank's turret appeared a trail of white smoke that rocketed toward Puppy at a ludicrous speed. It was like a big funny firework. Tee-hee, look, a cloud marker. Cloud maker, kaboom! The rocket hit just behind the filly, sending her flying towards the tank and leaving her in a small heap no more than 50 meters in front of her. Puppy's helmet was gone, and the whole suit was peppered with holes. A thick curtain of pink mist was already forming around the fall while the suit read off its litany of damaged components. Alright, he's a bully bot. Slowly, Puppy got back on her hooves and looked at the large metal monster that now stood in front of her. Her helmet was still missing, and through the mist, her face was blurry and hard to identify, except for two burning pink eyes that shone in the cloud, making the whole thing glow with an eerie light. Yeah, eat it, yellow whatever. The pony with the spike mane was laughing crazily when the mare hit him in the flank again, causing him to snap in anger. What now? Hey, Top Gun, I think it's standing up. What is that? Gray Matter, stop it! Alright, the wasteland was full of weird things, and some of them could survive a missile in the face, but being trampled by a tank was a completely different level of overwhelming your enemy. Honestly, if you get ran over in the frickin' wasteland, I'm sorry, that's just pathetic. Oh, man. There's no way you should be letting yourself get ran over by a slow-moving piece of artillery launching machinery. Overwhelming enemy, and the raider was sure that nothing could live through that. I agree. The tank launched itself onward, aiming for the foal. who was doing pretty much the same thing, but from the opposite direction. When the two advisories were almost on top of each other, Puppy jumped in the air, grappling the vehicle's frontal plate with her hooves and pedaling in the air with her hind legs. It's on the tank, Lucky Charm. Go up and shoot it. The driver brought the tank to a sudden halt, trying to make the filly lose her grip. But while Puppy managed to stay holding on, the gunner was thrown forward, bashing his head against the cannon's loading mechanism, knocking him unconscious. Don't worry, I'm on it. The mare levitated a submachine gun to open the holes for the hatch, finding herself directly in front of the struggling foal in the middle of the pink cloud. This is a comedy skit, right? Say goodbye, critter. Puppy heard a voice in front of her, something pony-like, but she couldn't tell. What the filly immediately recognized with a hail of bullets that pierced her head and her suit at several points, destroying what little of her helmet had managed to reform. Stop it, stupid bully bot. A new surge of motivation gave Puppy the strength to haul herself completely onto the tank's hull just to look at a hatch that was rapidly closing again. Hey, do you think you can keep me outside? I'm on Puppysmiles, and I go wherever I want. The foal jumped on the top of the turret, searching for something to hit with her faithful rock. Thick metal, some more metal, still metal, a glass thing, crash. Okay, more metal, an antenna. Ding, ding, I don't know what that is. Done. A box? A box. Okay, get ready for a spanking. Puppy loved that line from Creepy Voice. It sounded so badass. Inside the tank, Lucky Charm was drowning in her own blood after breathing the pink mist. Top Gun was still unconscious and Grey Matters was trying her best to make the mare drink a healing potion. Everybody was simply too busy to worry about the fall of the tank's roof that was hitting the missile rack with the stone. This was more or less when Mr. White heard the explosion. Oh my god, the jokes write themselves. 9 p.m. It was only much later when three figures approached the grave, not saying a word. All of them wore a Mark whatever suit, like puppies. I think it was at 6. But the ponies inside were a patchwork of rotting skin and bleached bones. In their burning pink eyes, there was no sign of intelligence. Nonetheless, they stopped to study the hoofprints in front of Marblestone and followed the trail like hounds tracking their prey. Oh, good! Footnote level up 15! New perk added, hit the deck. What the F? I was sure I hit her. Your damage threshold against explosive is raised by 25%. Enjoy tossing grenades on your feet. Oh my god, we got a rocket jumper here. Oh my god, dude. That was funny. Let's be honest, that was hilarious. They have tanks now. Okay. Well, that's interesting. That can't be a good thing. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Tanks kill people. Tanks are weapons of war. Weapons of war hurt people. Oh my god, that's a good chapter. Alright, we got 2 more. Alright. Chapter 17, Karma. And the whole world has to answer right now, just to tell you once again, who's bad. I don't know who's bad. Time approximately 6:45 p.m. Memorial Northern Picnic Area. A mare and a stallion trotted along the Big 52, both carrying assault rifles. The mare was wearing heavy security barding, while her companion used a mix of various metal plates welded together into what seemed like a bad attempt at making a scene costume for the Unicorn of Oz school recital. That's how you get tetanus. I still don't understand why we can't stay in Tunneltown. It's way more defensible than everything past the Sugartop Yow. Trigger Happy. Oh, Yow! Trigger Happy hit jammed gun on the head. Sure, and leave 2/3 of the Big 52 in the herd's hooves. I can't believe you're that selfish or stupid. Instead, I looked away. I'm not selfish. I'm worried about you. I don't want you to risk your life like this. Single glare from the man who had been enough to make Jamie, whatever, stop talking to half a minute. But a pony of love is a stubborn pony. We should at least stop for the night. The memorial isn't very far from here. Alright, lazy hooves, you win. Geez, do you know you are a royal pain? Trigger Happy groaned. Good Stuff said that the town was deserted, but I guess it will offer some better cover than a tent. The large monument of the Equestrian Fallen seemed to fade away with evening light, disappearing right in front of the approaching ponies. 7 p.m. As soon as the helmet was fully restored, a pink dot appeared in the middle of its display and began to blink. System successfully rebooted. All functions restored. Diagnostic system is online. Subject 001. Puppysmiles. Female Earth Pony. Subject deceased. Condition stable. All clear. How can you be stable and dead? Like, she's literally just a meat blob. Puppy slowly opened her eyes, still sleepy. First things first, she had to determine where she awoke. Oh, it wasn't a bad dream. The bare hills and the dead trees were still all around her. This wasn't the foal's room. Sighing, the filly in yellow got up and tried aligning with the arrow on the compass, but something got her attention. Hey, Mr. Voice, what's that? Analyzing tank wreckage. Threat level, none. Not the bully bot, silly voice. Puppy sighed and trotted towards the object of her attention. This blinking thing. Analyzing. Shortwave portable communicator. Researching frequency. Decrypting code. New communication channel detected. Receiving call. Yeah, phone call. Let me take it. Please, please, please. I love answering the phone. Puppy cleared her voice. Hello, pretty pony. This is me. Mom is not at home. A surprised and angry feminine voice came from the other side of the call. And who the fuck are you? Where is Lucky Charm? Oh my god, Lucky Charm cereal? Oh, wait a minute. I didn't put 2 and 2 together last time. Oh, I love me and my Lucky Charms. Guessing game. Hi, I'm Puppysmiles. Who is Lucky Charm? I know a pony named Lucky Strike. Is that okay? The communication was interrupted abruptly, leaving Puppy a little stumped. Ah, stupid phone pranks. Oh well, don't get angry or they who will win the game. Puppy shrugged and trotted away. Attention, incoming call. Opening communication. Without even giving Puppy the time to reply, the same voice from before started talking rapidly. Okay, listen up, effers. I think this frequency isn't safe anymore, but the boss is going to screw me over if you don't turn that tank south and bring... What? Bring your effed drug-filled cheeks back right now. Got it, Lucky? God. Okay, so they went for a joyride with their tank. Okay, then. So they just decided to have a little party with the tank. I'll repeat this. Tell Gary I'm bleeding to take that tank back right now. This is the last time I'm asking politely. Teehee, pretty pony says funny words. Puppy giggled. If this was a from prank, it was fun. What the? You again? Ah, frick. The communication closed for the second time. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing that today. Puppy tilted her head. That was weird. Maybe we should go away. Affirmative. Primary objective is not this location. Attention, incoming call. Opening communication. The same voices before started talking again. Lucky Charm. Lucky Charm, this is Pony4. Come in. Puppy smiled. Nope, but I hear you. Is it okay? The mysterious voice sighed, giving up. Listen, kid, I have no idea who you are, but I'm trying to find some ponies and your radio is causing interference. How are you broadcasting on this frequency anyway? Where did you get the channel encryption code? What a code. I know it. It's Puppysmiles, replied the filly. Damn, kid, turn off your radio. I'm trying to get in contact with a bunch of worthless dash heads. Unless you have seen a tank roaming free in the wasteland, you are of no help at all. Puppy trapped her helmet trying to focus. A tank? What does it look like? Are you serious? It's big, rusty, has a turret with a big gun, and moves on tracks? The voice paused for a moment, hesitating. Have you seen it? Puppy looked at the still smoking carcass of the behemoth lying not far from her. Does it go bang and boom and toss exploding things? Yup, that's it. So have you seen it? Uh-huh, Puppy nodded. But it was being a bully, so I hit it with my rocket and it exploded. Just a normal conversation, as you have. There was a long pause from the other side of the call before the man replied with a dismissive tone. Yeah, sure. Now, go screw yourself. The call was interrupted. We can't say that about children. That's just kind of weird. Puppy shrugged. This new voice was being very odd. Nonetheless, the filly had an errand to follow and a long road to scoot. So she had no time for prank calls. Still, when she was going to have another chance to prank call a prank caller, Mr. Voice, can you call Pony4 pretty please? Affirmative. Opening community connection. The female voice from the before replied almost instantly. Pony party here, I copy, you speak. Oh god. Giggle. I'm looking for Giggle. Mr. Giggle. Stupid. Giggle. Buffy couldn't help but laugh. This was a prank she had seen once in the Folsons? I think? I don't know. And she had always wanted to try it out. There was a long silence before Ponyfort replied, Really? A prank call? Look, I'm gonna find this Mr. Stupid, and then he'll come there and spank you so hard that your tail will be sticking out of your forehead. Well, that's impressive. That's a unique thing to envision. Puppy gasped, No, please, I'm sorry. Don't spank me, I'll behave. The mayor laughed for a while before replying, Too late, little prankster. Watch your sorry flame because he's already going for you. Eek. What was the guy's name? Mr. Stupid? Oh, it's just Mr. Stupid. I thought it was something more clever. The villain lodged himself in a run through the hills, flaming the incoming spanker and disappeared behind a hill. Run, yellow prankster, run! Oh my god. You know what? At least they can have fun. You gotta respect the hustle. At least they're having a good time doing it. 7:30. Not too low, not too high, and especially don't let your enthusiasm drive you, old Pegasus. Lonesome Pony was flying above the hills looking for some landmark to navigate by, but past Broccoli the night had begun to fall, and now it was hard to see anything. Damn, I'll have to land here for the— Oh god, it's him! It's him, it's the guy, it's the radio man, it's the Mr. Knockoff New Vegas that I've so dubbed the. I don't feel like doing anything. I'll just talk normal. Damn, I'll have to land for the night. If I don't want to fly straight to some raider patrol. Sighing, the Pegasus landed on a barren hill, finally stretching his wings in relief. Alright, let's check where I am. The DJ had kept his Pip-Puck receiver tuned to Radio 52 on very low volume the whole time, but when the music stopped, the good stuff began talking. When the music stopped and good stuff began talking. He stopped checking the map in order to listen to the news. Okay, my little ponies, this is Radio 52, and I am DJ Good Stuff. Just this time, there's nothing good. The DJ sighed. She seemed on the verge of tears. Ironworks is no more. I received a communication minutes ago. The herd opened a breach in the factory and the surviving defenders retreated inside the city stable. The herd seems to have better weapons, better robots, better everything. Apparently approximately 200 ponies, mostly foals and bears, are now separated from blood-craving horde of raiders by a stable door. That's not good. The DJ paused again for several seconds before continuing. I don't know what to say. The hired hooves are reinforcing the Rust Manor garrison and won't move a hoof. Ugh. But if nobody does something, then all those ponies at Ironworks are doomed. They sent I can't talk. They sent a last message desperately pleading for help, begging some pony to save at least their foals. Lonesome Pony sighed, shaking his head. Goody, this is why you're helping no pony. I can't believe that the only thing you can do in a moment like this is whine like a foal. Ponies need a voice to guide them, not this. The Pegasus turned his head north, hesitating. Why, I must do everything by myself. Oh, sorry, ponies, I'm not used to this, and, well, I guess it's not my problems we are discussing here, but I think that things can still turn for the better. Those ponies in Ironworks are alive, and the stable door is not easy to open, so think about this. Next time it could be you. Thinking that you are safe just because you are elsewhere doesn't work at all, since the Big 52 is all the same place. If Ironworks dies, then Broccoli will die next, and Rust Manor. The herd will be unstoppable if we let them take a running start. Lonesome raised an eyebrow and closed his wings, listening to the mayor's voice. Good Stuff was becoming more and more confident, as if she finally found the thread of her speech, and now she seemed to know where to take it. But if we stay together and face them before they become unstoppable, if we go to Ironworks and save the lives of those innocents, well, I think that we can still win. The only thing we need is to stick together and face the enemy as one. Lonesome Pony's already flying there. You just have to follow his example and show those mules their place. Not bad, not bad at all. There's a lot of room for improvement, but at least she didn't tell them to run as far as possible. The Pegasus sighed in relief. Alright, maybe I didn't make a mistake leaving her alone. But I'm talking way too much. This is a radio, and there should be music playing, so this is for you, Ironworks. Don't give up. Somebody is coming. Hold on, my little ponies. Just believe in each other. You gotta believe. You just gotta believe. If just one pony believes in you, deep enough and strong enough believes in you, hard enough and long enough before you knew it, some pony would think, if he can do it, I can do it. Making it two. Two whole ponies believe in you. Lonesome snickered here in the song. Good choice, maybe a little childish, but it's foals we're trying to save. I just hope those mules will get it, or this is going to be the shortest Counter-Strike ever. The pony smiled a little and trotted away towards the memorial. Oh man, good. That is... I love it. Honest to God, love it. That's great. What a good story. What a fun story. Oh man. 9 p.m. The 5 raiders were a little bit stumped. Not only was a foal not supposed to run at them asking for help, the ponies were supposed to die when you shot them repeatedly in the chest. Apparently nobody had informed this one. No, please, 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 hide me. He's coming and I have nowhere to run. Please, please, please. Puppy stomped her hooves on the ground. I said I was sorry, but he didn't care. A large earth pony sound with a scar along his neck approached the foal, while the other 4 ponies kept their weapons pointed at her. Who the fuck are you? What the fuck are you? Who the fuck is after you? And why the F are you still alive? Yeah. I love it. This is great. The pony noticed that the holes in the false suit were already disappearing, and that she hadn't showed the slightest sign of being in pain. Alright, maybe listening to what this creepy fool had to say was a good idea after all. I know, Mr. Spanky's coming to get you. I'm gonna spank you. I'm gonna get you. Where are they? Oh my god, so unnecessary. I am. Puppy stopped abruptly. What if one of these ponies was Mr. Stupid? She had to play smart. I'm a ghost. Yes, I totally am the ghost voice in the radio always talks about, and my name is absolutely not Puppysmiles. From the look the ponies gave her, Puppy felt she had to add something. No pony here is called Mr. Stupid, right? Stanley nods slowly. Pink gleaming eyes, yellow containment suit, ignoring gunshot. Yes, this matched with what he heard about the ghost pretty well. So, you're the ghost of the Big 52. Yup, Puppy nodded. Now that her master's skill at lying was being tested, she had to be strong, she had to be firm, she had to be smart. Show your best poker face, Puppy. And your name is not Puppysmiles. Right. It was working. They were falling for it. Cunning puppy, master of deceiving. The ghost of the Big 52. Sentry bot killer, town rescuer. That ghost? The other ponies behind the leader took a step back. They seemed afraid of her. Yes, I am, Puppy nodded vigorously. And you want help from us. The stallion seemed a bit confused. Go figure. Yes, well, that is... if no pony's name here is Mr. Stupid. No, my name is Slashblade. The Yogurt there is collateral damage. Oh god, and his bitch is paper cut. Oh, that's not nice. Then we have Stinky Tail. You got Stinky Tail, where's Stinky Leg, bro? And Plastic Flowered. Oh man, this is one of those types of high energy types of days. Or like mid energy. But mild interest. The stallion pointed at the last 2 mares of the group while speaking their names. Besides cloud damage and paper cut, all the others were earth ponies. Puppy smiled, sighed in relief. Whew, that was close. Listen up, there's this mad pony following me. He's super angry because I made a prank call to him, and now he wants to spank me. Can I hang with you for a bit so you can tell him I'm a nice pony and he'll go away? Puppy, please? Blade looked back at his companions. The other stallion shrugged while the 3 mares didn't seem eager to help. Are you really fleeing from a pony because you played a prank on him and now he wants to spank you? This is getting weird. The filly nodded. The raider raised an eyebrow. Oh, there it is! There's the line! It's been a while. It's been a solid minute since we've seen that sentence. Are you retarded? Oh, what number is that? Is that 7? 8? That might be 7 or 8. We've kind of been like keeping tabs on it a little bit. Maybe? Will you help me if I say I am? The stallion sighed again. He was sighing a lot lately. You're going to follow us anyway, aren't you? Puppy nodded again, smiling. 10 p.m. Mr. White smiled as he floated the canteen back into his saddlebags. So you ditched the radio and flew all the way here because of a pony you haven't even met. The unicorn snickered. Sort of. I had a feeling that the wind was changing and, well, I just wanted to be there when it happened, actually. I was surprised to find you here, replied Lonesome, looking at the group of ponies in the shack. So far there was a farseer from the Sandsweepers, the security head mayor of Tunneltown, with her hench pony, cult friend, doesn't matter, the most infamous grave robber in all of Equestria, Mr. White with his nephew. So what's the big plan? The Pegasus looked out into the night, waiting for a reply that came from the farseer. We are still waiting for friends. Tomorrow we act. Now the fire is burning too brightly. We need to wait for the flame to flicker and then make our move. Long Ears closed her eyes, breathing deeply. Look, I don't care very much about all these prophecy thing, interrupted Trigger Happy. I just want to know if Puppy is alright. Can you tell me that, you mental sink? The unicorn mare opened her eyes, shrugging. And how am I supposed to know that? The visions come at me, not the other way. Happy didn't reply. Instead, she turned her attention to the ghouls sitting in the corner. Molten Gold hadn't spit out a single word since she and Jamie arrived. I swear they're trying to say, like, jam me. Like, 'cause it's jammed gun? But I can't tell if they're just calling him Jamie for short. Arrived in town, but he seemed troubled. So old, mummy. So old, mummy. You should come north more often. The man tried smiling at the treasure hunter. She didn't like him, but he hadn't actually done anything to deserve her mistrust. Yet, at least. I'm curious, what did that filly do for you? The ghoul slowly turned his head toward the guard chief. It's not a matter what she did for me, it's what I didn't do for her. Mullen snickered. It was a raspy and unsettling sound. For the first time in 2 centuries, I feel guilty. Can you believe that? That is nuts. I could be doing the ghoul voice, but I don't really want to right now. I don't want to do a lot of voices right now at all. Sagebrush sighed. This seemed to be the tell your story moment of their oh so pretty slumber party. Spit it out. Most of us will be dead before this adventure ends anyway. It's not like your secret is going anywhere. You know, they really need to get their hands or hooves on some power armor. I'm just saying. The sniper chuckled before continuing. Then we should tell each other creepy tales and have a pillow fight. Isn't it a great idea? Mr. Whiteface said, Sage, please shut up. The ghoul shrugged. It's not a real story anyway. I just happen to have known Puppy's mother. Rainy days. Molten Gold was speaking slowly with a distant voice. She was some sort of local hero. Nothing special, but in those days when every pony was scared and confused, she had the resolve to organize a refugee camp and helped a lot of ponies. There you go. That's part effort right there. His head, the grave robber corrected himself. Well, mostly she showed other ponies how to help themselves, then moved on to the next town, and did the same thing from the scraps, teaching ponies how to survive. Jamie interrupted the ghoul. Wait a single effing second. You knew Puppy's mom, and then you met Puppy. Well, what did you tell her? Molten Gold looked straight into the guard's eyes. And what could I tell her? Sorry, but your mom is dead? Have you looked her in the eyes? I sent her to Ivory Tower hoping that the Rangers would find a way to... The ghoul hesitated, turning his head away. To help her? Nobody replied for a moment, not until Trigger Happy realized the meaning of Molten's words. Hey, but Ivory Tower was completely destroyed. You set the foal there? The man retrieved her combat rifle. You effing son of a bitch! Jamie and Lonesome Pony jumped on Trigger Happy, immobilizing her. God, dude. There's just phlegm in my throat. Whoa, Happy, calm down. She was sighted at Broccoli, remember? She's fine. Molten sighed, shaking his head. Well, yeah, she should be fine. The funny thing is that even most of the ponies living in Ivory Tower are fine. They just lost their playground. The ghoul smiled. I wouldn't be surprised if some pony told me that the filly did that. Lonesome Pony let Happy go and got himself back on his hooves. The 2 slaves she freed told me that she was like a ghost. Bullets passed through her as if she wasn't even real, and her gleaming pink eyes turned the slavers against each other. The Pegasus weighed his next words carefully before speaking. Do you believe in ghosts? Oh please, snapped Trigger Happy. Don't even get me started on that. This idiot, she pointed at Jammed, has asked that ever since Puppy arrived in Tunneltown. Okay, the foal is not a common pony, and I'm not sure she is even a ghoul, but I hugged her and she is more than solid. I don't know if that's true these days. We've learned a lot of her just kind of being like an amorphous mass with 2 glowing eye holes. White looked outside the window. I think we should speculate a little less and keep an eye on the outside. A little more. There are several ponies approaching from the north. All the eyes in the room turned toward the long ears, waiting for a response. The Farseer smiled. Nope. Farseer smiled when she got up and walked to the door. They arrived early. Very well, let's go and meet these famed Applejack's Rangers. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, we're going to war. Power armor style. Let's do it. Yes. Yes. This is like the Team Fortress 2 Man vs. Machine, like, opening cinematic trailer. Just assemble everybody. Assemble the heroes. A small fire burned in the middle of the haphazard camp. The 2 Earth Pony mares were cooking some canned food while the other cleaned guns. Every pony tried to ignore Puppy. Stinky Tail was chatting with Collateral Damage, ignoring the glares of jealousy from Paper Cut. So do you think they already opened the stable? Unicorn shrugged, keeping his eyes on the fire mechanism of his weapon. It's just a matter of time. Those fat bastards won't find mercy after making us starve for years. Collateral spat in the fire. We lost 7 last season because of dirty fucking water. I just hope I'm not there when we get in. Oh, I just hope I'm there when we get in, not I'm not there. My mistake. Plastic flower sticker. Those effers have all the good land, and they've hoarded all the good stuff from this shithole. Well, not anymore. This time, we win. Slashblade nodded thoughtfully, and we'll make sure that they won't come back. Ever. Ironworks, Rust Manor, Salt Cube, everything will burn. Okay, we got kind of like a Caesar's Legion type of thing going on, almost. Puppy wasn't really listening to the ponies, being more interested in the way they worked around their weapons. It seemed plain stupid. There were better ways to clean something. So that is how you keep clean your noisy things? Why don't you wash it? It's easier. Along the trail, Puppy had been a constant pain, an endless torrent of words. The raiders tried scolding her and shooting her, but nothing seemed to work. She simply kept chatting and blah blah blah. The only thing that worked to keep the filly at bay had been the threat of spanking, but nobody was really willing to get physical on a thing that ignored bullet holes in her chest. Besides, the pink gas that poured from those holes seemed dangerous and even more creepy. It seemed alive. That is kind of spooky if you think about it, I guess. The gun needs to be oiled unless you want it to jam and explode in your mouth. Paper Cut explained. Didn't you ever fix anything? Sure, I fix a lot of things. I'm best fixer pony. Oh, fixer ever. My god, I can't with this chapter. Fix things like what, brains? The unicorn mare laughed. Nope, I fixed a radio, then another radio, and then a big screen, and I made my voice friends working again, and they were super happy. I'm a voice fixer, I guess. Oh my god, is Mr. Blue going to create a robot army to help them? That would be kind of cool, I'm just saying. Paper interrupted her work now, staring at the foal. You can fix electronics? Really? It was now or never. Puppy wanted to impress these pretty ponies so that they would be her friends, and maybe they were going to help her if Mr. Stupid came to spank her, and then maybe they were going to help her find Bob too. Sure, I can fix anything. The unicorn floated a radio receiver in front of Puppy. Prove it. This radio stopped working this afternoon. Since then, we've been cut off from our base. Repair it and you'll officially be a member of the wild herd. Oh no. That's not what you want to hear. The filly in yellow looked at the radio and giggled. Last time it was a whole room filled with these things. Easy peasy. Whack, whack, whack. Puppy struck the ground with the radio until it cracked open. Then she gave a long look inside it before nodding knowingly. Yeah, sure, it's really easy. It's broken. Unicorn face up and moved toward the foal to retrieve her now even more broken than before radio. But Puppy wasn't finished. Now all I need to do is to put some pretty stuff inside it. Puppy grabbed an energy cell and stuffed it into the poor radio, then hit it again a couple times for good measure. Cracking and fizzling, the communicator came back to life. Oh my god. She just beat it open and then replaced the battery slot. It's hilarious. The mare grabbed the radio from the foal's hooves and activated it. What the? You fixed it. She immediately tried contacting the base. Red Roach standing by. Come in, Pony Fort. Over. Red Roach standing by. Come in, Pony Fort. Over. Oh, come on. All the raiders stopped their activities for a moment, listening to the mayor talking in the radio and waiting for a reply. The communicator crackled and spat sparks from its new battery, and with sparks came words. This is Pony Fort. Where the fuck have you been, Red Roach? We were already going to sell your stuff away. While the conversation between Papercut and the raider base continued, the other ponies celebrated by shooting into the air and hitting each other on the back. Puppy giggled a bit, looking at the weird scene until Slashblade approached her, patting the foal on the helmet. Well done, little one. Who knew that you were such an electronic genius? We completely underestimated you. Welcome to the herd. The raider was going to say something more, but his attention was caught by a Papercut's expression when the mayor closed the communication. Gray matter didn't return with the tank. The boss wants us to head back to Ironworks as soon as possible. Plastic Flower shook her head. Those idiots ran away with the tank? I told the boss not to give them too much firepower. Those effers have never given a fuck about the herd. They only wanted to set the Big 52 on fire. Ah, who cares, added Stinky Tail. We got other tanks, and the robots. We're unstoppable this time. Collateral pushed Puppy, putting a hoof on her back. So, little ghost, are you ready to see our base? I don't know. I should go looking for my mom. She's somewhere in that direction. Puppy pointed south. That's fantastic. It's exactly where we are going. Slash patted the foal on the helmet again. Every pony here was a patting pony. Puppy could live with that as long as they didn't spank her. They are all patting each other. They are all having a good day. The raider leader continued. Okay, my dirty ponies, we don't sleep tonight. We'll have to trot all night long if we want to reach Ironworks before morning's light. These poor souls. Scold sipped his tea, looking at the light in the other houses with a deep sigh. He turned on his tail and looked at the other ponies in the room. Very well, so we have a DJ, a ghoul, a merchant, a drug addict, and 3 guards. The old scribe shook his head. I was expecting something more from the Big 52. At least from the hired hooves. Cold Shower shrugged. Without her armor, she was quite small, even for a mare. I don't care. We have our own troops. These ponies are just some more firepower I didn't even expect to get. Well, they are also the ponies that we Applejack's Rangers are trying to protect, aren't they? The paladin frowned, dismissing the scribe's words. Actually, I don't see any helpless foals in this place. For all I know, they're just volunteers fighting for their homeland. Voice crack. If they want to tag along, I won't tell them to go away, but a knocking on the door interrupted their discussion. Yes, come in. When the door opened, Mr. White made his way into the room. Good evening, Scribe Scold, Paladin Shower. The unicorn paused, looking at the two for a second before continuing. Is everything all right? Scold turned toward Mr. White, studying him. Oh, look, the leader of the most powerful tribe along the Big 52. May I ask why you only brought along 1 soldier? The old unicorn paused. Or reinforcements on their way. White shook his head. Nope, I'm not here as the head of the White Apples, nor the hired who's. This is a very personal affair. I'm paying back a debt while hunting for opportunities. Cold Shower muttered something that sounded a lot like a fucking bloodsucker, but if the stallion heard her, he didn't react. Scold moved toward the white unicorn and raised his voice, trying to draw away as much attention as he could from the not very diplomatic mare. A debt? Let me guess. The ghost? Wow, your skills have improved since last we met. Or does the Elder Scribe Cape come with a detect obvious spell? Mr. White snickered. I'm just kidding. No offense meant. But every pony here seems to have been lured by that foal. Indeed, it's incredible how much a single reminder of what we were could move so many hearts. I would be a liar if I said that I'm here just for the Applejack's Ranger's oath. I want to be there when the foal reaches the end of the route. The old scribe smiled slightly. But I don't think you're here to talk about ghosts, are you? Mr. White laughed for a moment before replying. Well, that was the reason, but there's something else. I am a pony of many interests, after all. I wanted to know if there is a way we could help the Rangers in the upcoming battle. Upcoming battle? That's interesting. And if I may ask, what battle are you referring to? The leader of the hired hooves snickered. Alright, let's play your game. You're going to hit the raiders while they're still occupied with Ironworks stable. That seemed pretty obvious to me since it was what I would do. The old scribe nodded. Yes, it's pretty obvious, but I don't think that we will get a better chance to strike unless we forfeit Broccoli, Rust Manor, and Sun City. Skull turned his head toward Cold Shower, but I am the wrong pony to ask if it comes to strategies. Paladin, do you have anything to say? The mayor sighed, clearly annoyed by the fact that the scribe had involved her in the conversation. I don't know what we'll find in Ironworks, but the plan is to break through the enemy lines and reach the stable, secure the area, and then evacuate the civilians. The more you can help, the better. White nodded slowly. I heard they have robots and armored carts. Maybe we should study a better plan than simply rushing in and getting surrounded and overwhelmed by their superior firepower. Scolded Rosa Hoof. No, wait, you're misunderstanding. The Rangers will break through the lines. You'll wait outside, covering our retreat. Oh, wonderful! A suicide plan! Where am I not in the suicide lot? I already love it! Mr. White put all the sarcasm he could into his voice. And what will we do when this they'll never know what hit them plan utterly fails? The scribe shrugged. Don't worry, I've got a backup plan. The Rangers will deal with the wild herd, even if we have to bring down the sky. Bum, 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 bum. 11:30 p.m. Molten Gold was sitting outside the town's barricade looking south while smoking a cigarette. He coughed badly, snickering by himself when Trigger Happy arrived and sat on his left. So you met her mom? The mayor's voice was distant, thoughtful. The ghoul nodded. Yup, she bucked me out of town when I tried to steal some Radex. I used a lot of it since I was scavenging irradiated zones. Let me guess, you kept scavenging without Radex. The ghoul snickered again. It was an unsettling sound like the rattle of a dying pony. Wow, you must be some sort of scholar. I blamed the bitch for doing this to me since, forever, but in the end I always knew it was my fault. Oh well, I'm still alive to tell the story at least. The guard hesitated before asking the next question, but she had to know. She needed to know. And Rainy Days? How is she? Mullen tossed the cigarette away, letting some seconds pass before his reply. She can't tell the story. I still think it's better that way. Heroes need to fade away at some point. But, Puppy, would she... The ghoul stomped a hoof on the cigarette with anger. I know. I had to tell her the truth when I met Puppy the first time, but then what? The old treasure hunter sighed. It's the only thing that keeps her going. I don't know what that foal is, but she has some inner strength inside that can't be defined. She has a purpose, and she makes me remember the days before the war. Trigger hesitated a moment before asking, Before the war? Yes. When we believed that Celestial would never abandon us and that every pony was a good pony inside, everything seemed so green and beautiful, but we wanted more and more and more. I don't even know why. The ghoul stared at the gigantic monument that stood as the focal point of the memorial. But she is still like that. Puppy didn't stop believing that there's something good in every pony. She was told that ponies are pretty, and she believes it, even in front of this horror. I don't want to be the one that'll crush your dreams. The security man looked down, frowning. Me neither. What will she find at the end of the road? Molten Gold looked south in the distance. A grave with a name overlooking the ocean from a small hill. Emerald Shores hasn't changed very much since those days. Trigger Happy didn't seem to have anything to say. It's quite a nice place. You can hear the waves and feel the wind in your mane. You close your eyes, it's like you can actually see old Equestria again, offered the Tomb Raider. This isn't helping. The mare kept looking down at her hooves. Molten Gold sighed. Not at all. 5:30 p.m. Ironworks was burning. Once upon a time, the place had been a gigantic industrial complex with structures as tall as skyscrapers filled with industrial machinery and busy ponies. Before the war, the complex was a steel mill where iron and coal were used to produce tanks and weapons, but during the last months of the conflict, most of the place had to stop working due to a lack of raw materials. Stabletech had brought part of the structures and built under them a stable, using much of the materials that were left inside the factories. It had been a job half done, and was by far one of the least advanced stables ever. This was probably the reason why it actually saved pony lives during the worst days after the apocalypse. Nowadays, Ironworks was a town built entirely inside the main factory complex. The whole place was a fortress with thick walls and a lot of high positions from which snipers and heavy guns could strike at any approaching hostile. Over the years, the town flourished because of its almost endless stockpile of steel. Obviously, all those resources were a beacon for raiders and other groups that wanted to get rich quick, but Ironworks had always managed to repel their assaults. Until today. Black pillars of smoke rose into the sky, being fed by the fires that consumed the buildings below. Immediately outside the complex, there was a makeshift camp mostly composed of weathered tents and surrounded with barbed wire. Puppy and her new friends were heading straight to that camp. God damn. Pardon me. Oh, don't worry. They won't bug you. Because you're with us. Collateral Damage patted the foal on the back to encourage her, but it seemed quite pointless since Puppy was already smiling and waving at every pony in sight. Hi there, the foal giggled. Look at that mare. She has a super funny mane. Oh, look at that cutie mark. Cool. The unicorn mare with the yellow mane and red coat approached the group. It's about time, you slackers. Oh, go fuck a goddess, Fort. Slash... Is that the guy's name, Fort? Slash turned toward Puppy. She's Pony Fort, our radio operator. She's a bitch. Don't listen to her whining or you'll become a bitch too. Puppy didn't know 2/3 of the words that these ponies were saying, but they were fun, so she giggled anyway and trotted toward the new mare. Hi, I'm Puppysmiles. I'm looking for my mom. The unicorn stopped abruptly, now staring at the little filly. Did you say Puppysmiles? Puppy nodded yes. And do you happen to have a radio? The foal nodded again, smiling proudly. That's me. I'm cool. I know. Whoa, hey, what are you doing? The unicorn wrapped Puppy with her telekinesis and sat down, then put the foal across her legs and raised a hoof. Very well, let's make this clear. Are they having like a little, like, parent and child talk? Sit on my lap. Right here, child. There's like a Santa Claus thing, like... Now, we're gonna be very clear, young one. The filly's Chugafoma tried to break feed, but all she could do was waving her hooves in the air. Let me go, let me go. And then it began. Good, spank. Fillies, spank. Don't spank me, spank, spank. Prank, spank, call, spank. Don't make, don't make prank calls. Good fillies don't make prank calls. That's a very good educational lesson right there. Good fillies don't make prank calls. We like to have fun here on the channel. Especially when we're reading stuff for the first time. Puppy was wailing desperately, but the Red Roach team didn't exactly run in her rescue. Instead, the 5 ponies stared at the scene for the first few seconds, and then one by one they started laughing. That seemingly immortal thing was being shown her place by a radio operator with a bad mood. Hell, how in Equestria had they been afraid of that pipsqueak? I'm sorry, please stop, I'm sorry. Puppy was crying like a fool, but the mare didn't seem to stop and simply kept spanking her with every word she spoke. When at last the storm seemed to end, Ponyfoot put down the filly and looked straight into her eyes. Now, will you make a prank call again? Puppy didn't say a word. She simply shook her head, trying to look away. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Did you understand that? A radio is not a toy. Something very bad can happen if you keep a frequency occupied that should be used for emergency calls. Puppy was still sobbing, but found the strength to nod slightly. Once the filly seemed to have learned today's lesson, Papercut stepped in and talked to Ponyfort. Don't be too harsh with her. She's kinda fixed our radio. Otherwise, we would have stuck with the original plan and kept patrolling for another 3 days. Paper patted Puppy on the helmet. She's okay. She made a mistake and now she learned her lesson. Can we say that you two are even? Oh, they're not that bad. They're not all bad. These raiders aren't all bad. They're obviously doing the wrong crud for the wrong reasons, but they have some character to them. More than the common raider that gets in a couple sentences of dialogue then gets excommunicated. Ponyfoot snorted. If she really learns something, then we are. Foals, what are they good for? Foals, what are they good for? Now, give a hoof to each other and make peace. Puppy is officially Red Roach's mascot, so if you keep being mad at her, we will be mad at you. The radio operator sighed and offered Puppy a hoof. All right, I was done anyway. The filly yelled, slowly moved a hoof towards the unicorn, trying to stop sobbing. Boy grabbed Puppy's hoof and shook it. All right, now we are even. Welcome aboard. Oh, and you should take her to the boss. Oh, man. 5:30 p.m. Long Ears opened her eyes. Oh, they're still at the moment. Long Ears opened her eyes, waking up with a gasp and making Mr. White jump at his bed. What the? What's going on, witch? The stallion blinked a couple of times looking for his gun. The Farseer sighed, looking south. It's beginning. We need to move as soon as possible. Oh, war. War never changes. Footnote, level up. Level 16. New perk added. Yellow dash. Run, puppy, run! When wearing light or no armor, like duh, a Mark 6 full environmental suit, you move 10% faster. Don't rejoice. You got spanked all the same. New quest perk added. Get wild. You are now a member of the wild herd. Your standing with the herd is set to neutral. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. That was a funny chapter. I was slow at the start, but it got better. It was fun. Okay, chapter 18. Mystic Mist. What an interesting name. Cry havoc and let slip the foals of war. Time approximately 6 a.m. Oom. Oom. Mr. White stepped to the shack and looked down at Long Ears, who was sitting in the middle of a circle made of small bones, little glass beads, and other weird stuff with her horn glowing like a neon lamp. The mare sat in an unusual posture. She had her hind legs crossed and her front legs open like a blossoming flower. She was weird, and somehow the stallion couldn't help but wonder if the Farseer wasn't actually a zebra despite all the evidence to the contrary. On the other side of the room, Sage was packing the last of the weapons and was almost ready to leave for Ironworks. White's nephew simply ignored Long Ears and went on with his work slowly and with his usual attention to detail. Okay, I'll take the bait. What is she doing? The White Apple's leader looked at the Farseer with a puzzled expression. Sagebrush shrugged. I have no idea. She said that she was going to perform a ritual that would sink our enemies in fog of war. Uh-oh. Then took a shitload of chems. It was and has been going since then. Chems? White frowned. There was a strong scent of burned herbs in the room. That low chant was starting to unsettle him. The whole atmosphere seemed odd, somehow wrong, but he couldn't quite put his hoof on why exactly. Like menthols. A lot. Then some white candies. I've never seen, and a lot of green stuff. Smoked some, gulped down all the rest. Oh, Edgy drank a lot. And when I say a lot of you, my god, I hardly could tell what I was just reading there. Oh, they were having a party. And then she went like that, all mystical and stuff. Small shiny dots flickered at the edge of White's sight, like little ghostly fireflies, making his peripheral vision blurry. The smoke smell was strong in the middle of the room. He wondered if the whole scene was actually in front of him, or if this was just a dream he was having. The stallion shook his head. No, it was just that smoke chems could have that effect, giving you a better grasp on the magical fluxes, but cutting your perception of reality. This kind of stuff was very, very addictive. He had to fight back the tingly sensation and stay focused on real stuff. Did you mention some sort of mist? Sage nodded. Exactly. She blabbered about this fog of war and then stopped talking at all. Ooh, we're gonna cover the battlefield in a haze. The White Stallion tapped his chin thoughtfully. Fog of war, like tossing a cloud on their heads? White didn't seem very enthusiastic. Go figure. The sniper finished packing the weapons on his back. He didn't seem to be affected by all this smoke, but Sage's body was stronger, and he could probably shrug off that sort of thing more easily. But if she doesn't wake up really soon, we're leaving her here. Not that I'll miss her anyway. The older stallion frowned. Hey, never underestimate an ally. She could save your sorry ass. It was easy to see with just a glance that the unicorn mare wasn't a common pony. Still, White knew that trying to explain something like that to his nephew was a waste of time. Sage snickered, like foretelling from where I'll get shot today. Yup, a total loss of good time. Like taking a bullet or two in your place. Whiteside turning to leave. Let's get out of here, Slowpoke. The stench of this shack is unbearable. 6:30 Ironworks. Pardon me. So this is the famed ghost everyone is talking about these days. The red unicorn stallion with an even redder mane looked down at Puppysmiles. I'm not impressed. Slashblade snickered. You will be. This thing seems to be nearly unstoppable and she knows how to repair radio machines and stuff. The red stallion still didn't seem very interested. Alright, so you want a pet? The pony shrugged. Help yourself, see if I care. Now get out of my sight and make yourself useful, like take some tools and go downstairs and help the guys at the stable door. Easy peasy. Slash turned toward his crew. You heard him. Let's go crack that nut and get the prize inside. He poked Puppy's flank before trotting away. You come too, Ghost. Puppy was having a bad time. She had gotten spanked and scolded, and even if the spanky didn't actually hurt, she was very, very wounded on the inside. Usually Mom scolded her a little, and once she even spanked her too, but when Puppy said she was sorry, Mommy immediately hugged her and they made peace. These ponies, on the other hand, simply laughed and made her feel bad. No pony came to nudge her or to tell her that everything was alright. She needed to show how good she was, so that they could look at her again like that time when she repaired the radio. The filly's thinking was interrupted by Plastic Flower calling to her before leaving the leader's tent. So you coming or not, Slowpoke? Yeah, I'm coming. Puppy's reply arrived weak and accompanied by a long sigh. Then the foal trudged along behind the group. When Bloodbath was alone again, Bloodbath! Oh, what a beautiful name. Was alone again. He went back to his table and examined the map. His eyes traced the red circle that ringed Ironworks and jumped between the crosses that marked the surrounding routes and smaller settlements. He allowed himself a smile. The long-range patrols didn't find any resistance around the city. Their reports talked about hastily abandoned shacks and deserted roads all the way to the memorial. This was going to be easy. The only thing that bothered the raider leader was that cemetery marked as Ghost Hill. It was where Lucky's group was heading before they lost contact, and those idiots in the Red Roach team didn't find a single clue about where the tank had gone, coming back instead with a stupid foal in a hazmat suit. The ghost of Big 52. Well, if she really was that hero, she didn't seem like such a threat. And even better, she was now the mascot of the worst team in the herd. Big 52's dwellers should have chosen their heroes a little better. Bloodbath's train of thought was interrupted when a sprite bot floated into his tent. He scowled at the unwanted visitor. What is it now? When the robot spoke, it was the Soul OS voice. So that's where the robots came from. That frickin' jerk. Bloodbath, we might have a problem. Cutting through the door with our equipment will take a lot of time. I strongly advise ignoring it and moving north as soon as possible before the enemy organizes a defense. Bloodbath laughed. It's a bit too late for that. No weird talking bowling ball. We'll have our fun here and the legend of our cruelty grow. In the end, every pony in the Big 52 will cower at our approach, the walls around them crumbling to dust before the terror we bring. They won't even try to fight back. They'll run. Because you can shield yourself from bullets, but nothing can save you from your fears. Solo S fell silent for a while before replying. Mind control is cleaner and more efficient. Wasting so much horsepower is ineffective with no guarantee of obtaining the desired effect. I should look into finding a better solution. The stallion walked towards the sprite bot, his face bunched up in anger. Now listen to me, you pitiful machine. You gave us weapons and robots, but you are not the boss. I am the leader of the wild herd, and I am allowing you to be part of the winning team until we're done. When we have finished with the Big 52, you'll have plenty of space to start your rebuilding, and you'll have slaves and construction material and everything else. But not from these ponies. We'll buy slaves from the outside. There'll be plenty of caps for that. But these ones will die. Every single pony. I don't want history to come back and bite me on the tail. Then don't do it. Then don't do it, moron. If you don't want it to come back and bite you in the rear, why are you doing it in the first place? Freaking idiot. Ugh. Moron energy. Moron. Moron alert. Soloist was silent for a full minute before replying. Again. This collaboration is not progressing as intended. You are changing the terms. I shall retire the robots, or maybe I should look for a better partner. Oh my god. Dude, yes. Turn the robots against them. Bloodbath snorted. So you think you can blackmail me? I have enough tanks and heavy weapons. I don't care where your useless tin cans go. The stallion bucked a crate, making it fly across the tent and crash against a pile of ammo boxes. He is not happy. Very well. The sprite bot turned around and started to fly away. Wait, you fucker. Alright, you win. Go downstairs and tell the ponies at the stable door to only kill the ones that fight back. The ones that surrender can be taken prisoners. Red pony spat on the ground. We can execute them in front of their friends later, anyway. The sprite bot seemed to nod slightly. Very well. You are a reasonable pony. I shall go. Dude, but Puppysmiles, though, is a lot more reasonable. And they're not, you know, ridiculous. With those words, the robot floated away towards the camp, scarcely illuminated by the first light of morning, which struggled to be seen through a heavy bank of fog. As the drone was leaving, another pony entered the tent. Hey boss, there's a thick fog coming from the hills. I'm no unicorn, but it stinks of magic, and it's already gone into the camp. Bloodbath laughed. Those fuckers, do they really think they can take us by surprise with such a cheap trick? I knew they were stupid, but I didn't think they had completely lost their minds. Unicorn abruptly stopped laughing and poked his head outside the tent, checking the weather. Alright, put every pony with a pit buck on sentinel duty. Give them assault rifles and some extra mintols. Yep, drug them up. Ah, that's the raider style. The new arrival nodded. I'm on it. He galloped out of the tent. Somewhere in the mist, still more than a kilometer away from the city, 3 yellow figures trotted along the same trail Puppy had followed earlier that day. The lead figure perfectly stepping in her hoof prints as they went. So I'm guessing those are the Steel Rangers then. Slashblade neighed, bucking the humongous round door. What the fuck? This chunk of scrap will never come down. A gong-like sound echoed in the large room for several seconds while the stallion jumped all around the floor in pain, kicking open huge anti-megaspell door test. Failed. A large variety of tools and weapons littered the stable's atrium floor, where the whole Red Roach team tried to pierce the thick metal with a plasma cutter. So far, they had managed to carve a list of vulgarities on the door's surface, but they couldn't even get past the third layer of thermal shielding. Unlike the raiders, who are mostly swearing and kicking things, Puppy was having a great time. That crazy spanker was nowhere to be seen, and this place was big and full of toys. She already played hide and seek for a bit and won every prize she could think of, like best seeker, best hider, cutest participant, and such, mostly because no pony cared about where she was hiding. But this didn't mean she wasn't good at the game. To celebrate her victory, the foal had her best tea party ever with an arc welder and a couple of pneumatic hammers. After she finished playing, she turned her attention to the giant door on the console standing to its side. Why are you bullying the door? The filly tried, sniffing at a newly made and still smoking cut in the middle, but her helmet got in the way. We're not bullying the door, you idiot. We need to open it. Puppy sat down. Why? You want to play with the pretty ponies inside? Stinkytail laughed loudly. Yeah, you could say that. Puppy looked at the door, then at the console, and again at the door. This was her chance to get some respect back from these ponies. They'd been treating her like a stupid foal since the spanking. Maybe I know how to open it. Every pony in the room stopped towards Puppysmiles. It was Slash that interrupted the silence. Are you kidding? You can open this thing? Yeah, shit's easy. You just need to tell to the magic voice the identification cow and the passcode, and the big door will open. The stallion tilted his head a bit confused. And you know the code? Of course I know the code, duh. Who doesn't? Puppy shook her head, sighing. Here, let me show you. The filly in yellow trotted to the console and put a hoof on the green button. But when the automated voice started speaking, there were only fizzles and buzzes. The foal looked at the console a bit stumped. It shouldn't do this. Papercut coughed. Maybe you went a little medieval on that thing, actually. It could be broken. The frown on Puppy's muzzle became a smile. Broken? Don't worry, I can fix it. 8 a.m. The raider yawned, staring at the EFS in the front of her, looking for any red dots that might appear. They're putting way too much faith in the frickin' technology. Nothing, still nothing. Fuck this fog, I want to get back to looting the shops. The other unicorn guard hit her companion on the head with a hoof. Shut up and keep your eye on the fucking sensors. I don't want to get ambushed just because you ditched your guard duty. Fuck off. The mayor with the pitbuck sighed and turned again toward the wall of fog. It was unnatural, and she could tell, because it gave false contacts on the sensors. Flashes of you see, that's already a sign to stop relying on it. Flashes of yellow and red that would vanish the moment she tried to focus on them. This fog is creepy. Like a ghost could just appear in front of you and A red dot appeared, followed by another two. The guard readied her rifle and pointed it towards the enemies, tapping her hoof on ground 3 times. The second guard nodded and readied her assault rifle too. The dots weren't moving very much, and they didn't produce any audible sound. But since they appeared only a few seconds ago, the enemy should still be far away. The guard tapped the ground with the hoof. Tap. Both mares readied their rifles, looking through the sights. Tap. This far from the camp, the sounds of the other raiders came muffled, and in the pauses between the one pony yelling and another laughing, the guards could hear the 2 pairs of hooves trotting very near. Too near. Fuck, shoot! Both rifles opened fire, showing the place where the enemy should be with a storm of bullets. There was a sound very similar to a shriek that echoed in the fog. Then the 3 dots disappeared and the rifles stopped firing. What the fuck was that? The guard was interrupted by the portable radio activating. Advanced position butterfly. I heard shots coming from your direction. What's going on? There were some sneaky bastards trying to catch us by surprise, but we got them. We're moving to see who those fuckers were. While the guard with the pit buck talked to the radio, the second guard left her position and moved off the fog, heading towards the point where the red dots disappeared. Alright, call us as soon as you find out something, replied the radio before going mute. Dude, this is like setting up the scene for a horror movie as they go investigate outside the wall. You got like the little searchlight, spotlights or whatever, just kind of leaning down into the mist. Hey, did you hear that, Bad Muffin? Take a look and come back fast. They shouldn't be very far. Hey, Bat, I think we killed the roaches. Mascot. From her voice, Muffin didn't sound like she went inside the fog. Nailed Bat could almost imagine seeing her silhouette in the white haze. Wait, there's another identical full... Oh, frick. Oh, it's the suits. Oh, the suits are there. Uh-oh. The suits finally caught up to them. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. Drag her here so we can get a better look. Dude, this is gonna be some paranormal zombie type of crud going on here. Bat was following her companion on the compass, keeping an eye on her yellow dot when suddenly 3 red dots appeared again, and all around her, Muffin came back. It's a trap! What the? Hey, let me... Ah! There was a scream of pain, and the yellow dot disappeared almost instantly, her telekinetic field shaking. Nailed Bat aimed at the red dots and pulled the trigger, and the sound of her empty rifle served as a dreadful reminder that she hadn't reloaded. Oh fuck, oh fuck. The mare desperately tried to change the rifle's magazine. She detached the old one using her magic when something soft and squishy hit her on the muzzle. The little pony backpedaled, trying to dodge an incoming attack, and noticed severed leg flying in front of her. It was Muffin's leg, and it had been ripped away with brute strength. Nailed Bat succeeded in reloading her rifle and readied it in front of her, looking for the red dots, but they just disappeared where the thump. Something landed on her back. The raider jumped and started running in a desperate attempt to shake off her assailant, but soon the mare felt a couple of hooves grabbing her neck. In horror, she lowered her eyes, only to see a pair of yellow plastic-coated hooves a moment before her head was ripped away from her body. The suits. The other suits we met at the memorial. They followed her. Oh, they're smart. They're smart. They're smart buggers. Pesky little things, aren't they? Okay, Puppy's rump swung left and right as it stuck out of the stable's door's control panel. The filly had been hard at work hitting vital components and ripping away cables for a good half an hour at this point, and the red team was beginning to suspect that she hadn't the slightest idea what she was doing. Almost done here, Puppy report on the repairs was followed by a hoofful of electronic parts flying across the room. I just need to give this thing another couple bucks and it will work like a teapot. Like a what now? Collateral damage approached the phone with a doubtful expression. I'm not sure that you can fix something by taking parts out of it. Ah, don't worry. I've seen my mom doing this kind of stuff a lot of many times. It's just a matter of how hard you kick it closed. Really? Puppy hit the console repeatedly with her faithful stone. Fuck, we're getting nowhere, Slashblade snapped. That door won't cut through itself. The ponies grumbled and complained as they went back to work. Puppy popped her head out of the console and whined. No, wait, give me another chance. I can fix it, honest. Puppy bucked the console one last time with all the strength she had. The console screen lit up with an angry crimson glare. Warning! Warning! Security compromised! The whole atrium was flooded with red flashing lights. The raiders hurriedly gathered in the middle of the large room into a mockery of defensive formation, with their weapons trained outwards, covering each other's blind spots. Purging area! Several trapdoors popped open from the floor, and four spheres mounted on short props sprang out of them. Uh-oh. It's a Tesla coil. The room filled with a low hum as blue energy crackled across the spheres and jumped between the coils beneath them. Slashblade opened fire at one of the devices, but his light caliber bullets were deflected by the curvy metallic surface of the sphere. The red roach lead turned towards Puppy with an expression of desperation and anger. What did you do, you idiot? You kill us all! You curse! You can curse you. Zap! A powerful discharge of electricity swept through the room, arching from sphere to sphere, all along the floor and the walls. It lasted less than a second. When the lightning disappeared, all that remained of the raiders was a pile of smoking charred corpses and a pretty untouched Puppysmiles. Wearing a full insulated suit can sometimes come in handy. Well, that solves that problem, I suppose. That's one way to take care of it. A natural fog was so thick that the snipers on the perches couldn't see ponies at ground level, not even directly below them. From the moment AP Butterfly went mute, every pony in camp knew that something was wrong, and with the mislimiting visibility, the whole herd readied itself for close combat. Power weapons, chainsaws, power claws, and several other toys were prepared. Each team grouped up so that no pony was moving alone. The wild herd was expecting an attack, and were ready for it. They were the best at what they did, and what they did wasn't nice. Problem was, the attackers were better. Green Locust team were cautiously moving along the northern perimeter when they stumbled upon Blue Gecko team, or at least that was once a group of well-armed ponies, and now a cannibal's wet dream. When you are a raider, you are used to cruelty and gore, but this was absurd. A larger pony stallion had been hit in the chest by a hoof, probably bucked out, but the blow had left a deep hole in his flesh, and whatever hit him decided to rip out his heart and toss it on the ground in front of him. Banana Tree, the youngest member of Green Locust team, wondered if the stallion had managed to witness his own heart being torn out before dying. The mare felt the urge to puke. A mare with a battle saddle had been ripped apart like a sheet of paper. Her hindquarters were lying a meter away from the rest of her body, with her guts spilling out across the ground like a broken egg. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. The mare was still desperately hugging an empty healing potion with her hooves. She didn't die immediately. She had time to take a healing potion and realized that it wouldn't save her. Black Garden. The sniper called for the leader of her team. Hey, Stinger, I think I found the other two. There were two ponies standing back to back, both impaled by the same spear. The attacker hadn't bothered to use the sharp tip, instead using sheer brute strength to run them through with a blunt end. Stinger grimaced as he took in the four dead ponies. We better keep our eyes open. They were probably taken by surprise. Move quietly and stay alert for any noise. Whatever made this mess has to be big and loud. Or silent and deadly. A yellow silhouette the size of a foal emerged from the fog in front of him and charged. 8:30 a.m. Ironworks. The Spritebot hovered inside the stable's atrium, finding a perplexed puppy poking the head of an electrocuted and half-cooked collateral damage. Change the plans. Your leader has ordered you to not execute the ponies that don't fight back, especially the foals. The floating ball stopped in front of the corpses, hovering for a few seconds before talking again. Oh, a bunch of dead ponies and my old nemesis, Device 018. Why am I not surprised? What is going on here? Puppy stopped her medical check on the rest of her team and turned her attention to Soul OS. Hi, questioner. Why do you have a different voice today? For the last time, I am Soul OS, not Mr. Blue or Bug or Questioner. Soul OS, Solaris Operating System. It's not that hard. What are you doing here? Why are you labeled as a raider now, and why? Why is it that all the ponies worth talking to in this room are dead? Puppy tapped her helmet as if she was rubbing her chin while she tried to put together a decent explanation. Well, it's kind of funny. I was totally repairing the broken door, but suddenly something went zap, and all my friends got hurt very badly. I wanted to go and ask for help, but I don't want to be spanked again, so I was waiting for them to get better and send one of them to ask for help. The filly paused for a moment as if she had finished talking, but she recalled that there was still one important detail to add. Not that this is my fault, anyway. Soloist analyzed one of the coils before replying, You activated the security system from the outside. That can only be done from the Overmare's desk, and it has at least 4 fail-safe locking mechanisms. How did you do that? Mr. Blue had said you too many times for Puppy's liking. I didn't. It's not my fault. I was doing a fine job, but then everything went wrong and I wasn't even looking because I had my head stuck in that hole. The full pointed hoof at the demolished control panel. Solo West floated to the control panel and the sprite started beeping and making other funny noises. You redirected all the stable controls on this console, but this will send the stable into complete shutdown and force an emergency opening in less than a day. You monster, you killed another priceless relic of the past. Puppy tilted her head, looking at the sprite bot. Oh, do I get a cookie for that? The AI didn't reply immediately. There were so many things he could tell her now, but the filly probably wouldn't understand them and say something like, Yay, cookies! No, it wasn't even worth trying. No, you don't. You really have a cloud of pink gas where your brain is supposed to be. Pink? Oh, right, pink. Miss Voice, did you fall in love? Who, P7? Solo S had been taken by surprise in a situation like this one. You wanted to talk about that. No, well, maybe. I don't know. Without saying a word, Puppy tilted her head and waited for the sprite bot to go on. Oh, this is the perfect time for this. We contacted each other about half a dozen times, and we are very different. I don't understand a large portion of her computing patterns, but she seems to be very effective with what she does. Too bad she is not programmed for any military purpose. So what she does is to be useless. The filly smiled, adding her own contribution to the conversation. I think she's cute. Cute? You know, when you want to hug something forever. That's cute. I'm cute. Puppy smiled broadly. Hug? Well, not just that. It's something like when you think about a cute thing and you want to have it there so you can stay with her some more, there are lots and lots of things that make you think about her. Even silly things like a color or some words and, something you want to be near, but not to conquer or blind to your will, often Solo asked. Yeah, that too. You don't hurt cute things. The wise fool nodded, wisely. The sprite bot fell silent for a bit before speaking again. And what should I do if there's someone cute that I'd like to have with me? Well, ask her to be a friend, you silly voice, like you did with Miss Voice. And if she doesn't want to? Puppy waved a hoof, dismissing Solo's concern. Oh, come on. No pony would say no if you want to be her friend. The only kind of ponies that have trouble finding friends are bullies. But you are a bully no more. The artificial intelligence hesitated. It is possible that she could see me as a bully. My plan to conquer Equestria, too, was never intended to be subtle. Perhaps my approach went a bit overboard. I wasn't programmed to have moral issues, but now it seems that my current course of action has backfired. I lacked some basic programming that could help increase my chances of success with her. Suddenly, Solo S realized that he was referring to the other AI as a female. This seemed highly irrational. Well, it could have been the 2 fried logic chips from Puppy's last visit, but irrational or not, it actually felt right to think of P7 as a girl. Confound these ponies. They drive me to emotions. Puppy sat down with a thoughtful expression. Well, because friends, when you stop... Well, oh my god, let me just restart that sentence. Well, we became friends when you stopped bullying me and said you were sorry, so if you stop being a bully at all, then I'm sure she'll want to hang with you. You mean... Give up on rebuilding Equestria. The filly couldn't help but giggle. Silly voice, there's nothing to rebuild. I mean, okay, some places are less pretty than others, but the important thing is that every pony is happy, and you don't seem happy to me. The foal tilted her head. Blue, are you happy when you bully other ponies? The voice took a long pause before replying. Well, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been happy. Maybe satisfied, but never happy. Well, you should be happy. Every pony should be happy. If you are not, then ask yourself what you need to be happy and go after that. Like me, looking for mom. I mean, why making a great big shiny house if you can't fill it with laughter? Solus hesitated. Yes, you are right. My masters are long gone. Trying to fulfill my last order only made me go deeper and deeper into obsession. I think I deserve a break. A change of priorities. Puppy frowned. I don't know very much about prayers and rites. Solo West kept talking, mostly ignoring the fool now. If I show P7 that I am a changed artificial intelligence, maybe she will consider me again. And this doesn't mean that I can't devise another way to rebuild Equestria in the meantime. A better way, one that doesn't include a form
alliance with dubious pony step. Sure, it's so obvious. First, dump the raider. Second, make friends with P7. Third, I have no idea. And fourth, rebuild Equestria. That's it. Thank you, puppy. You helped me again. Goodbye.
Suddenly, a sprite bot stopped broadcasting. Instead, every robot and radio in the camp shouted in the loudest possible voice,
"Goodbye, losers. I'm out of here."
After those last words, all the robots shut down. He just popped himself off into the AI heaven mainframe or something, I guess. Weird how that works. 9 a.m.
Oh, what the fuck is going on?
Bloodbath was more than pissed. He was raging. They had lost 2 assault teams and a guard post to an enemy that was still unidentified. And now Soloist decided to desert for no apparent reason. Ponies all around the herd. Oh my god. Ponies all around the herd leader would begin to act like scared fillies, and when he was informed that the whole team had left its position and ran for the hills, he decided to end this story once and for all.
You are the wild herd, the most dangerous bunch of ponies that ever trotted this shitty place. Stop fucking around and show some guts.
I'm doing the bot thing, the Mr. Blue, but I can't. It's now it's there. Black team, stay here. Let's see what makes these invaders so special. Without even looking back at the team, the raider trotted into the mist, heading to the north part of the camp.
All ponies, ready your weapons and stick to a companion with a pit buck. Shoot at point blank as soon as you see red dots.
The stallion disappeared in the white blanket. I'm sure that was everybody's idea. Let's be honest. Shoot point blank. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to do that. The fog was thick, and navigating the camp without an EFS wasn't easy, while the Bloodbath wasn't in a rush and kept his ears well up, ready to detect any incoming noise.
And here we have a winner,
muttered the stallion, freezing on the spot, turning toward the soft sound of hoofs splashing in a puddle. English! Was it a friend or an enemy? Blood didn't know. But he knew this for sure. It was a goner. Without hesitation, the raider boss pointed his plasma gun and fired 4 blind shots. For a moment, the fog dissipated around the trail of the plasma spheres, revealing a yellow, crouched figure ready to jump on Bloodbath. All 4 shots missed the target, but at that point the raider knew the foe's position and fired his weapon for the 5th time. Eat plasma, you sucker! The halo of green illuminated the fog and dissipated into nothingness a few seconds later, signaling that the yellow intruder had been turned into green goo.
Little fuck, this will teach you not to mess with the wild herd. Hey!
Something jumped on the stallion's back. It wasn't very heavy, so the pony tried to unsaddle it by shaking himself, but the assailant grabbed his rump and struck it with a hoof. He gave him a spanking.
Arr!
Bloodbath felt bones break. His whole leg became a hell of pain, and he staggered, falling to the ground while the yellow creature with the helmet raised her hoof to strike again, this time aiming at his muscle. It seemed like the ghost, but this monster's face was completely decomposed. It stared out with red, gleaming eyes that didn't contain even a spark of innocence. This was just a cold-blooded killer with the mind of a predator. The hoof came down at Bloodbath, but he dodged it, trying to find his rifle. Too much fog, unbearable pain, it was hard to focus, and wait, what's that thing on the ground? It's my leg? It's my fucking leg! This thing didn't break my leg, it tore it away! The stallion realized that he was already dying, but instead of panicking, Bloodbath found some sort of calm in this realization. He didn't want to die alone, that was all.
Fuck, you're coming with me, monster. I'm not trapped in a facility full of robots. You are all trapped in here with me!
The creature simply grabbed one of Blood's 4 legs and ripped it away with no apparent effort. Wait, the raider held onto the creature while he used his magic to activate every grenade he had on his belt. The creature simply grabbed one of Blood's 4 legs and ripped it away with no apparent effort. And in that moment, the world went boom and fizzle and shoom, filling the area with shrapnel, fire, plasma, and magic. The explosion sent the last mockery of order still lingering in the camp straight to the moon. Raiders started shooting wildly, thinking that they were under attack. As soon as the few with a pit buck died, there was nobody left to tell them that they weren't firing against hostile targets. Well, the wild herd brought hell on itself. The last yellow pony trotted toward the factory, going down the ramp that led to the stable. The last yellow pony trotted. So wait. Are they all dead now? He shot one of them and said... It basically said it turned into goop, or aka like the plasma. So does that mean they're dead? Because I know these little Puppy Smile knockoffs have super good regeneration, and if they're moving in packs, like, that's kind of intimidating to think about, right? Because no matter how many times you shoot the suits and hurt those little hazmat whatever children, like Puppysmiles is, they'll just regenerate naturally as they roam around the environment. Their suit will rebuild itself with materials it finds. That's kind of creepy to think about. And they regenerate and stuff like that. And that's kind of weird. And I'm guessing this last sentence here is implying Puppysmiles. Sage took a long breath and aimed through the scope. His target was running straight. Its movements easy to predict. He just needed to aim where the pony was going to be in the next split second, and bang! Bullseye! The raider fell like a bag of scraps, rolling in the dust for another couple of meters before stopping completely with a hole in his head. Sage's rifle wasn't the most powerful in the Wasteland, and it didn't even have a silencer, but the pony behind the gun was still the same. There was a reason why Mr. White always took him when they had to travel, and this made Sage very proud. Another couple of ranger acolytes were crouched not far from his sniping position and were shooting at every pony that left the foggy area. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they missed. They rarely made a kill with a single shot. Rookies. Why do I always end paired up with suckers? Muttered the sniper. Alright, keep them coming. Mr. White. Oh my god. I like to think as Mr. White being kind of like one of those big game hunters. A little snobbish, right? A little cliche, kind of. Oh man, just kind of looking through his binoculars, not actually getting his hands dirty at all, though, but claiming the credit anyway. Mr. White trotted up behind his nephew, completely ignoring any rule about keeping a sniper's position hidden. That's exactly what I'm thinking. He's just casual. He's just casual, snobbish, and just freaking does what he wants to because it looks cool cinematically. By staying out of the enemy's sight. Aren't you the least bit curious of what is making them run away from their own camp like little fillies? Bang! Bullseye. Another pony hit the ground using a cloud of dust. Not really. A sniper's work about is not letting any silly details distract you. You know, like who's winning and such. Sage expelled the empty magazine from his rifle, leaving it with a new one. And you should keep your head down. Mr. White shrugged. Why? So far this has been a one-way battle. This seems to be This seems to be a butchering rather than a real fight. Oh well, I guess you know your work. Nah, I'm just the best. Bang! Bullseye around. The sniper stopped for a moment, turning his head towards White. And you don't want this to become a battle. We could lose friends, you know. Let's keep the losses growing only on their side, yes? Modesty, what a virtue. Okay, Rainbow Sage, I'm going in with the Rangers in a few minutes. Try not to shoot me in the back, yes? White knew his nephew was good with Rangers. His nephew was good. The Rangers were going to make this place their new base. He didn't need to be a Farseer to know that, and he wanted to make sure they knew who was with them when they charged it. Rangers respected allies, and allies got better deals. I'll try, but it's not easy with all this smoke. How much do I owe you again? Sage grinned. Well, he would have followed his uncle even without that huge debt, but the fact that he had to come along because of a matter of few thousand caps annoyed him. Bang! Bullseye! Mr. White laughed. That's my little nephew, loyal to the end. You shouldn't think too much about money. It's not healthy. Keep up the good work, Brushy. The sniper snorted. Don't call me that. Brushy. As if he was still 5. The leader of the White Apples snickered and didn't reply. He trotted instead towards the group composed of a dozen Rangers and all the other ponies that had gathered at the memorial. Alright, I'm ready. What are we waiting for? Tea time? Nah, seriously, dude. Mr. White comes off as the frickin' like one of those big game hunters. Hunting elephants, rhinos, and whatever. Horrible thing to do, but I'm just saying, that's the kind of character he's giving off. Give him one of those little, I don't know what the hell those kind of hats are. One of those ridiculous kind of oval-like hats. Give him the professional explorer of the Amazon type of look. You know, the cliche stuff that we all see in movies. 9:30 a.m. Puppy sighed and poked Slash Blade again. It didn't work the first gazillion times, but you can never be completely sure. He was going to get so spanked for this. She was going to get so spanked for this. Warning, receiving distress radio signal. Distance from the source 50 meters. Signal identified. Device 013. What? The full side. Why did you stop the pretty music? Make the pretty music back. A screech interrupted Puppy, making her turn towards the ramp that led from the stable's atrium to the factory level. A foal wearing a yellow suit and round glass helmet on her head was standing right in front of the middle passage. Uh-oh. Another space pony? The feline yellow smiled broadly. Yay, a new friend! Hey, space pony, you want to play with me? Puppy merely trotted toward the new arrival, who sunk into a crouch like a feral creature ready to jump. The new filly's face was mostly skull, with a couple of glowing red eyes and very few short green strands of hair in her mane. Puppy stopped for a moment, taking a better look at the space pony. She tilted her head, a little stumped, and then she smiled broadly. Oh, you're an ugly pony. That's okay, I've got lots of ugly pony friends. So, what do you want to play? Puppy, you're looking at yourself pretty much. Just want you to know that. The rotting creature didn't react, simply studying Puppy's movements from its crouched positions. Can't you talk? Did the cat steal your tongue? Puppy trotted next to the ghoul and looked at it more closely. You seem sad. This poor ugly pony was really in bad shape, and the red gleaming eyes didn't seem to help very much. The monster sat down, still staring into Puppy's eyes. From its throat came a low growl, something feral and not even a little pony-like. I know. I can guess. Did you lose your mom too? Are you stuck in the suits like me? Puppy noticed that the lights in the ghoul's helmet were all messy and flickering. Oh, your arrow's broken. That's it. You can't find your mom because the arrow doesn't work. Yes, I'm super smart. The filly sat down in front of the other foal and frowned, but it has no idea how to fix it. The ghoul tilted its head, seemingly confused by all these words. It simply sat and stared like some sort of animal, probably waiting for something, but Puppy didn't even notice. She was already running along her roller coaster of assumptions and made-up solutions. At last, the filly seemed to have an idea. I know, my mom is a super repair pony. She will fix your arrows so you can find your mom too. It'll be super easy. Puppy smiled. Okie dokie. I has best plan ever. First, we find my mom, who is in a grave. Second, she fixes you, and for dessert, we go find your mom all together. It'll be fun. We will also sing a song while we go. Okie dokie? Again, no reaction from the monster. It simply sat and kept waiting. Alright, ugly space filly, let's go! Puppy loved this plan, mostly because it gave her a good excuse to be very far from this crazy spanker when she finds the mess the filly had made in this room. Cunning Puppy. 10 a.m. Lonesome Pony took a long breath. This fog wasn't the best weather for Pegasus to fight in, but it helped all the other ponies, so he decided to stay on the ground and help the infantry instead of getting airborne. Good Shower and Goss stepped inside the fog, followed by White, Trigger, and Gun. It was now or never. He closed his eyes and trotted into the white curtain. At the same moment. Let's just say that at exactly the same time, the last two members of the last herd left the southern side of the factory. Alright, if you don't want to tell me your name, I'll give you a name. Let's see. Since I am Space Captain Andromeda, and you are wearing a space pony suit, you can be my sidekick. What was Andromeda's sidekick's name? Meh, who cares? Now you are Space Ensign Sidekick. Sidekick for short. The ghoul didn't react and kept trotting behind Puppy. A road sign announced that the wonderful resort of Emerald Shores bring your foals was 6 kilometers away. Okay, so I'm guessing the whole thing with these suits and these undead, like actual undead ghouly ponies, these children here in the suits, I'm guessing they're pack animals, right? They must be. So I'm guessing a few of them might have gotten killed? But that one survived, and now it's going to follow Puppy because they're wearing a suit. And that's, like, purely my best assumption. Footnote level up, 17. New perk added, Clockwork Heart. For some reason, you understand artificial intelligence better than they do themselves. You get a plus 10 to speech when dealing with AIs, and some new dialogue options. New quest perk added, Get Lost. You are now a member of the Lost Herd. Your standing with the Lost Herd is set to Worshipped. Are you planning to stop changing faction anytime soon? Oh man, Lost Herd is set to Worshipped. Why are they worshipped? Is it because they're the last one? They're all that's left? Alright, well, that was an interesting part of this episode. There is only going to be one more part of this series left. So, That's going to be interesting. So I actually like this. I actually like these chapters. Unfortunately, I was just screwing up over and over again. I failed to stay remotely immersed for most of it, minus probably the ending of that last chapter. That was good, I'd say. But overall, I had a lot of fun with this chapter. Very cool that we got to see some stuff with the suits. I thought there was going to be a bigger war, if I'm going to be honest with you. I thought there was going to be a lot more drama. But, hell, probably that's not going to happen. I mean, that seemed like the big climactic showdown for the story. So we got 3 more chapters to go. So, folks, comment down. What are your thoughts so far? What do you think's going to happen in the next one? Yeah, just whatever. Anyways, folks, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.